Give me a second, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to log into the application. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Yeah. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a brand new stream of ZBet, where we talk everything that's related to cryptocurrency, financial markets, and financial products. I'm extremely sorry that I was kind of was logging into the platform, like on the ZBit platform. I'm so sorry about that. So, how are you guys doing? What's up with the ZBit family? ZBit. I hope you guys are trading successfully, making some good amounts of profits, and if not, there's not an ending to the world. This is not the end of the world. So don't worry. We have everything that you need in order to start your crypto journey, guys. You have to be like a little patient when we are basically dealing with crypto. So I welcome each one of you. To the people who do not know me, my name is Neda Afri. You can refer me as Neda. So today we are going to see some good amount of things, like we are going to see how we can trade basis the price action trading strategies. We did look into some breakout patterns yesterday, right? Like yesterday and day before, and a couple of 2-3 streams that we have looked into. So I want you guys to adhere to the rules of the stream. Whenever you join the stream, I want you guys to basically um, make sure that you have enough funds into your account. Start trading along with me. I want you guys to basically learn everything about crypto that you need to learn about. Okay. So today we are going to see a few things, like we are going to see some price actions, price action trading strategies. So let me pull out a text here. So we need to first and foremost, as part of our price action, we have to basically identify trend and structure. Okay, this is first and foremost uh, step that we need to do. Second is we have to predict and prepare. I will come to all of this, don't worry. Then we have something called I am good, my dear 618936. I'm good. Thank you for asking me. Thank you for asking. I hope you're doing good as well. Okay, these are the three things. Hi, Alfred. Hi, 618396. Hi, Alfred. Welcome to the stream. I really appreciate. Where are you guys joining from? Tell me, Alfred, more about how your trading journey has been going. Is it good? Are you at profit? Are you at loss? What exactly is your current scenario. And which country do you belong to, Alfred? Can I know? Are you from India, Indonesia, Malaysia? Which country are you from? Can I know a bit of it? And also, if in case you can tell me a little more about how your trading journey has been going. Is it good, bad, new? You're a beginner, you were just starting out in this industry. Share anything you wish, okay? So here we are. I'm on Ethereum 1 hour chart. That's okay. Oh, Nigeria. That's good. That's good. Welcome, my dear. Welcome. Alfred, appreciate you joining in. What is your level of expertise in trading? Can you tell me a bit of it if you would want to share? Uh, are you just starting out in the industry, or do you have any good amount of information, like good amount of experience? Alfred, do you want to share that? And how is the trading journey going on? As in, like, are you at profits? Are you at losses? What exactly is happening? Share it with me, and we'll see if we can work out something together. We'll definitely try to, uh, I don't mind, guys, catering to personal requirements of yours. Like, if you guys want me to look into any of the particular cryptos, you want me to analyze, or you want me to look into how your trading journey is going on, like look into your trades, I can do that, no problem. But the only thing is, you have to basically stick to the rules. The rules are like, you have to deposit funds into your accounts when I am live, okay? And then send me a screenshot so that I can guide you step by step. I don't mind hand holding. I don't mind, guiding you step by step, but you have to follow a bit of a rule. The rule is you have to deposit funds while I'm actually live. That's okay. Alfred, totally okay. At some point in time, all of us have started from somewhere, and it's not something new. Yes, we all start from somewhere. Now, what is very important is first to understand the glossaries, the terms, the things that you need to understand about the overall market. Okay, Alfred, I have looked into, uh, like in my previous 3 sessions, if you go back and you basically check that I have done everything from basics. Okay, yes, you can still take a trade with that. With 3 USDT also, you can take a trade. Do you know that, Alfred? Do you know that you can leverage a position and still take a trade? Even without leverage also, actually speaking, you can take a trade. Like, you might not have significant profits, but yes, with $3, the trade is very much possible. Okay. And I can show you how. And if you really want to earn in pennies, that's okay. I am not, because I don't decide on capital. I don't decide on what leverage you should take. So if you have only 3 USDT, yes, you can trade, and you can take a leverage position, and I will show you the calculations here. So let's imagine today the market is, like, for Ethereum is at minus 1.62, okay, and market seems to look like it is in downtrend. Remember, the market is just for 2%, not more than 2%. Also, it's like 1.5%. Okay, so say you said you have $3. Even if you're taking, say, 2x of leverage, or you're taking 5x of the leverage, so 3 into 5 is like you're taking a $15 position. And if you're taking 2 times of it, so it's going to be 3 into 2 is like $6 position. Now, yeah, is a very important thing. Now, the current price is 3248. See, this is going to come as very, very, the calculations are going to come like too much in decimal points. So you might as well be very, very confused and get very confused. But still, I am, because I am not the one who decides on the capital and leverage. This is something you have to decide for your own self. See, now currently, for example, I'm just giving you a hypothetical example. We are going to see how to go about with taking a trade also. That we will do it later. But I'm just showing you a bit of calculations, how the leverage works and how you're going to take a trade. Imagine you are entering into a trade at this current price, which is 3243. So you have $3. You've taken 2 times leverage. $6 is what you have. Now you're taking a trade at 3240 current price. Okay, divided by 3240. So you're buying it at 3240, which means you got 0.001851. This is the contract of Ethereum that you're buying. Okay, so you're buying this Ethereum contract here. Okay, and then let's imagine I'm on the 60 minutes chart. Let me go to the 5 minutes chart. Okay, and put my risk to reward ratio. Let's imagine my risk to reward is somewhere around, I'm taking a short position at 3240, I told you, right? So this is where my position fits. And now I'm putting a 1:3 for you. Okay, 1:3. 1:3 means somewhere at 3153. Okay, my exit is at somewhere at 3153. Hold on to a second. Don't rush into anything. I'm just showing you 3153 is your exit. This is where you exit. So you are earning around, this is what your overall profit is. Don't look at the negative sign because I actually deducted that from the overall. So this is your profit. In this, there will be taker and maker fees of 0.005%, 0.02% of taker fees and maker fees, both will be there. After you deduct both of them, you will be left out with some profits in basically in decimal. I will show you. I know you have 3 USDT. For you, this kind of entry might be looking very, very difficult because there are so many decimals which you're not able to understand. I'll increase this $3 with a bit of 1 or 2 zeros here. Reason being, I'm doing this because I want to show you what actually you are earning if this is not in decimal points. So let's imagine you have $300. Okay, $300, and you are leveraging, I told you 2 times, $600 is what you're taking. Okay, 600, you bought it at what was the price? 3240. Okay, and you sold it at 3153, right? 3153, 1:3. We've kept a very ambitious number too. Like the market is not even moving to 2%. So 1:3, I don't recommend taking 1:3. Take a 1:2 only. That should be it. So you're able to earn 600, right? Now that the decimal, the decimal is gone, remove this minus. This is the profit that you're earning. This is, if you just convert this into decimals, you know that how much you're earning. So this is the profit you're earning. If you just move this on the other side of it, it's like 0.16 is what you're earning. Now, did you understand what you're getting into? So if, for example, I'm going to take out my taker fees in this, which is 0.02%. So my 0.02 is going to be this number, this figure. So that I'm going to deduct from my this total profit. Okay, this is my total profit. I'll show you. I'm only using this because I want you to understand it. With decimals, you might be getting a little confused. That's why I'm not using. So okay. Then on this, you have your maker fees, which is 0.5%. Sorry, not, yeah. So that would be around this figure. So your previous denominator was this figure. Out of this, I need to minus this. So after deducting all the fees, this is what you're left out with. The reason I have increased it by 2 numbers, 2 zeros, is because I wanted to just show you how you're taking a position. Now you can take the same position with $3 also. I have taken 3 into 2x as the leverage. So in that scenario, your figures are these. Okay, this is your figure, which is after your Just a second, let me just pull out. So this is what with I increased two zeros there, but if you are just using $3, this is what you are left out with as a profit. But this is profit before your expenses, which are your maker and taker fees. So if you remove the taker and maker fees out of it, you will be left out with some decimal here, but this is the profit that you're going to get. Now you understood how to take a position. This is how you go about with it. Now, very important question, which basically we all have to understand, and what we have to understand, like whether we should buy or sell, and whether buying is the right opportunity or selling is the right opportunity. Okay. So you have to see there are different ways of trading. Some people trade basis charts, some people trade basis indicators, some people trade basis looking at different indicators and making out or deciding on things. So now I'm going to teach you how to go about step by step. Let's first see, you've understood about the leverage, right? So let me now take you through what are the different things, especially when you're looking at the charts, how you basically decide on to whether you're going to buy or sell. Okay. Remember, Alfred, you're not going to learn everything in one go. Okay. So you're not going to learn everything just in half an hour, 1 hour, or you're not going to learn over, say, next 15 minutes or something like that. So trading is, of course, a very lengthy and a very big, it's a very, very big world, actually. It's an industry which has so much to learn that 1 hour also is not enough for you. And as you go about with learning, that's where you will develop your skills and you will become professional in it. So you have to be, first of all, be little patient, disciplined enough, as well as learn to even control your emotions. That's when you're going to become a very successful trader. Okay. A trader just does not only need technical and fundamental analysis, they also have to have these personal characteristics which makes them a successful trader. So now when you're sitting here with me, so don't think that within next 15 minutes you're going to learn everything and you'll be like quick to proceed with it. I can show you that also. But till the time you burn your hands and you kind of make some losses and you're actually into the field where you understand where exactly you're going wrong and all, till that time you're not going to learn anything, because practically I can theoretically tell you everything, but until unless you do it practically and you understand where exactly you're going wrong, you will not be understanding all the things. So the first and foremost thing which really matters is identifying the trend and structure. Okay, so now there are different time frames which any trader uses. Okay, so if you are trying to capture small movements, okay, you're trying to capture small movements, then you basically have to use 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or 15 minutes time frames. So my dear Alfred, I'll tell you what. First of all, ask yourself this question: how much risk am I ready to take? Okay, when you ask this question to yourself, you know that where exactly you fit into. So if you are a low risk taker, or you're a medium risk taker, or you're a high risk taker, there are different points for everybody. So if you are somebody who is a low risk taker, your goal should be to pick up all the stable cryptocurrencies. And how? Many times and minutes it takes for it. I didn't understand. I didn't understand, Alfred. What is that? So if I was telling that if you are a low risk taker, go for all these top 5 cryptocurrencies which you see it on the screen. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, you can pick up any of these in the low risk ones. Coming to medium risk, you can pick up Solana and XRP or Sui in that case. If you're a high risk taker, you can pick up any NFTs like Doge, or Shiba Inu, or any meme coins can be part of it. Now, The moment you get that answer, what kind of a risk taker you are, you know which cryptocurrency you have to pick up. Did you understand now? Sorry, Alfred, did you understand what I'm trying to say? Have you identified yourself as a trade, as what kind of a risk taker are you? If you know what kind of a risk taker you are, based on that, you will be deciding. If you are low risk taker, go for stable cryptocurrencies only. And under stable cryptocurrencies, it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, because these cryptocurrencies are there for at least a decade. Some of them are there for at least more than 5 years or something. Yeah, so I am going to come back to that. I'm going to come to it. So I'm going to come to it. Don't worry. So what I'm trying to say is, first step for you should be to identify yourself as what kind of a risk taker you are. Okay. Once you get that answer, you know which cryptocurrency you're going to trade in. Pick up one pair, like any crypto which you think as per your risk taking capacity. Pick up that. Then comes second thing, which is your capital. And you told me already you just have $3, and I told you $3 also. See, my dear, you know, the kind of capital you're picking up, okay, the kind of capital you have, which is $3, it's a very small moment. Imagine Ethereum, basically, if I open Ethereum's chart here, you can see Ethereum's, total supply is basically circulating supply is 120.69 million. Okay, this is in US dollars that we are talking about, and the market capitalization is in billions, 3388.81. Imagine you're taking a $3 position with a 2x of a leverage with just $6. Where will your $6 trade fit into this billions of money that you're talking about? So, can you tell me now how long does it take to work? Can anybody tell this? The answer is no. So, you know, it all depends how the market is functioning as on that date. Like, for example, today, Ethereum is, I told you, it's like minus 2.6. It's like in a negative 3%. Whether it is in positive or negative, it doesn't matter for trader, because traders basically take out, opportunity in both a downtrend, both as well as in uptrend. So whenever there's a downtrend also, you can always trade in both the directions. Now, your question was about whether you should trade in spot or futures. So the answer for this is, it's a simple logic, guys. See, the major difference between spot and futures is, futures will let you take leverage on a position, okay, which means the exchange platform can give you leverage up to 125x. Can you see this on the screen? Up to 125x, which means if you have $3 also and you're taking a leverage of maximum 125x, so up to $375 is what you can take a position. But does that mean should you take it? The answer is no, because if trade is not going to go in the right direction, if you have not predicted it right, if you have not speculated it right, this whole $375 will be lost from your pocket. Okay. So now you can decide whether leverage works for you or not. While you have $3 in your pocket, you can trade with basically in spot as well as in futures as well. But the beauty of futures trading is you can trade in both the directions. Whether you hold a crypto or not doesn't really matter. If you see a downtrend, you can always sell, and if you see if you see an uptrend, you can always buy. But the same option will not be available in spot trading, because what happens in spot trading is you are using your actual money, you are not using any leverage there, and with the original amount that you have in your wallet, say $3 in your pocket, you're going to use that money only to trade. So until unless you decide when to sell it off, basically you're going to hold that trade. Okay. So there are advantages of trading in spot. There are advantages of trading in futures also. Now, what suits best according to your requirements, you have to decide it. If leverage works for you, go for leverage. But the risk associated with leverage is also very high. Now, if leverage is something which doesn't work for you, you can always go for spot trading only. But spot, remember, you can only sell when you actually hold a real unit of it. Whereas futures allow you to sell even when you're not actually holding a unit. Okay. Which means in my current pocket, you can see currently I don't have anything which I am holding. I don't have any position. Now I plan to take a short sell trade here. I want to sell even without basically holding any cryptocurrency in my pocket. I can do that in futures, not in spot. Now, did you get the major difference between the two? Alfred, is it clear enough for you? Or do you still have any doubts? Please feel free to ask me anything. Okay. If you're clear on this particular thing, then you decide what works for you and what does not work for you. Okay. And you can take trade in both of them, which is totally fine. Now, I hope I am able to answer to your previous question. Now comes the second question which you had. How long does it take to work? Now, market is highly uncertain. Okay, I'm telling you on an average, at least I'll tell you about Ethereum. Ethereum basically on normal days when the market is not volatile, like moves about 0 to 5%. Okay, normal days. But when markets are very volatile, like there is some positive news in the market, like something nice has happened in the market, like the economic data came out very nice, there's no inflation, or there is basically interest rate cuts, the tariffs are not there, like some positive news has happened in the market. In that scenario, and the market is basically in the upward direction in uptrend, at that time Ethereum can move about at least 5 to 8 or 5 to 10% also. So to answer to your question, how long does it take to work? It depends on day-to-day basis. Today, if the market is like, for example, it's minus 3%, now you can imagine by when can you expect your trade to happen. Okay, so this you put it as the target. Like for example, in the starting of the day when I came in, I gave you a short position here. We took a trade at 3240 and we are sitting at 3204. So if I try to adjust this position, already somebody is sitting at a 1:1.34 risk to reward ratio currently. Okay, so can you now see how basically you're able to make profits or make some trades even without actually holding any crypto in your pocket? And 1:1.34 is what you are able to achieve. Like this has happened just in about how many minutes since the time I just started the stream at 4 o'clock, which is as per the Gulf Standard Time. Now, there is no hard and fast timeline. Some days markets are high, are very fast moving. Some days it is very low. Some days there's not much momentum in the market. So it all depends on day-to-day basis where it is heading and how it is moving, in which direction it is moving, and all of that. So Alfred, is this clear enough for you? Guys, ask me, like Alfred was asking me, Alfred from Nigeria, he's asked me like how long does it take to work, what should he trade into spot and futures, and he had only $3 that he wanted to trade. So I have shown all the calculations how you can take a trade even with $3 as your capital, and how much leverage you should take or how much leverage you can take and things like that. So I hope this is clear enough for all you guys. And still anybody has any questions, you can feel free to ask me while we are going through the stream. Guys, ask any legitimate questions, no issues at all. It's okay. All of us are just starting out, and I don't mind repeating myself again and again. The thing is, while you can take a trade with $3, it is as less as $3. but to be able to get a profit within short period of time with that kind of a capital is like going to be a little time consuming. Now you want to capture a scalping position. Scalpers are mostly those kind of people who have become professional in trading, and they have like huge amounts of trades. Basically, like they have huge amount of capital that they pump in, and they just within a couple of minutes they take a trade and then just exit. So if you are somebody who has a lot of capital, the short movements you can capture. Like for example, between this like this position that I gave you guys, between this position to this position also, uh, like you could have made at least 1:2. Can you see? 1:2. Entry at 3276. Entry at 3273, and exit at 3203. Okay. How much of a movement is that? 3276 minus 32. What was the exit I told you? 3203 or 05, whatever. Okay. So it is almost a 73 points or $73 move. Now, somebody who's bought one Ethereum within this little position which we have, this small movement that we had between, say, 4 o'clock when I started the stream, when I gave the position, to this candle which was at 16:30, within half an hour, in one Ethereum with the current price that is going on, basically $73 movement, $73 profit. Even if we like calculate the taker and maker piece on it, say for example it was like $5 or something, you will still be left out with $68. But this is for people who have like lot of capital. I know you guys, some of you are just starting out in this industry. You guys have like very little capitals to start with. Some of you even ask me, you have only $1, you have $2, $3. You can still take positions. There is no issue in it. You can still take position with as low as $3 also, but you might not be able to fetch this kind of profit that we're talking about. So if you are looking or aiming for a better profit, the risk associated is also equally like risky, and at the same time it's also going to be like that might not take a lot of time for you to fetch the profit, but yes, this particular $3 can basically take a lot of time. See, the same thing, if I'm taking a $3 position, $3 into 2x as a level, which is $6. So 3 to, what was the entry point for me? My entry point was 3276, and my exit is 3203. $6 is what I invested, minus this is my, I am left out with this profit 0.13. Now in this again there will be taker and maker fees. So my taker fees is going to be 0.02%. So this is not even something which is like a profit. It's like getting negative actually. So you see, that is why I'm telling you that this kind of a trade is a bit difficult. And if you're aiming to basically get get into the trade with $3 with whatever leverage that you're taking, you either have to keep too big target, which is highly impossible, because market on an ongoing basis moves in certain percentage and direction. Like it might move like 2%, 3%, like maximum 5% in a day, whether it is positive or negative. Now you keeping that kind of leverage and that kind of capital, do you think you will be able to take out profits in that kind of a move? Then the answer is probably not. So you will have to increase your little amount. See, you can I think, hold on for a second. What was my this was my profit, right? So 0.02%, which I feel is like not good enough. I don't think this is going to work out. At least if we do it maybe with $30, let's see, 2x leverage, $60, 60 divided by 3276. This is the profit that you got. Sorry, not the profit. This is the number of contracts you got, okay? So number of contracts into now you sold it at 3203. So you're left out with 58.66 minus, sorry, let me copy this. Sorry, 6 minus, so 6 is my investment and I minus this, I'm left out. Oh, 60, sorry, 60 minus this I should. I'm left out with this profit. And now on this profit will be my taker and maker fees. So taker and maker fees means 0.002%. So which is like, again, with this kind of a move, again, it's not a profitable situation, honestly speaking. So I think $60 with this kind of risk to reward also is not a good idea. So you still have to increase your capital, one thing which you can do, or second thing what you can do is you can also maybe just increase the risk to reward, because with this kind of a thing you're not able to achieve the profits that you're talking about. Just a second. 0.02. What's happening here? Actually, am I calculating it right? This is it. And on this, there is a take of fees. Just a sec. 200, 100 into 15 divided by 3276. $33. Now this is your take of fees. deduct this. Then you have your macro fees. I think 0.2 I already did. Sorry. So I have to do 0.5, which is a taker fees. So this, I'm going to deduct this. So you'll be left out with 33.40. So this numbers that we're talking about, they are all possible basically on very big trades that I'm talking about. Maybe I'm not encouraging anyone to increase their capitals or something. It's just for understanding purposes. You have to decide on your own what works for you, whether like big capital works for you, big leverage works for you. Are you able to take that kind of a risk? Are you able to take that kind of a leverage? All these things are your personal decision. So um, राजस्थानी रियल है क्या जी? हाँ हाँ बिल्कुल रियल है। क्या क्या इसमें आपको क्या झूठ लग रहा है एक्चुअली? Guys, any questions for me? So a little while ago Alfred was asking me a question. He is from Nigeria. He asked me, he has got just $3. 565794 10,000. What 10,000? 10,000 rupees, $10,000. What exactly is that? Hi Daksh, hi. How are you? How are you, my dear? Are you from India, Daksh? The 10,000 rupees are you talking about? 565794. Is this 10,000 rupees that you're talking about, my dear? So 10,000 means what? 10,000 means you have 10,000 means if you divide that by 87, if that's the rate, for example, you've got $114, right? So you want to take $114 trade. Is that what you mean? Or by what you're sending me? Daksh, I'm talking to you only. Okay, he sends me a question and then he disappears for some reason. I don't know. I couldn't understand his question though. Daksh, are you able to, if you're taking $114 like trade, are you able, is that okay for you to take this kind of a trade? Tell me. Guys, exactly where you guys sometimes are getting stuck. Let me know. See, I am even ready to handhold and also to guide and step, like, to decide on how much leverage, if in case you have certain amounts. You want me to size your position. You want me to tell you how you can take position with whatever, capital you have. I can do that as well for you. Ask me, guys, like, what do you want? Anyways, I'm going to, because some of you basically distract and some of you are actually not asking the right kind of questions. I'm going to proceed. Now, beginner traders, follow the stream continuously so that you get proper guidance step by step. Like I was telling you in the starting of the session, there are two types of trading, spot and futures, depending on if you're ready to take, leverage that, then futures trading is something that you can go for. Otherwise, you can also go for spot trading, which is okay. So both are having its own pros and cons. Uh, the pros are, of course, in spot, till you buy, you will not be able to sell, and you're trading with your own money. You're not taking any kind of loan or leverage from the platform. That is what spot trading means. Futures trading, you can take like leverage or loan from the platform up to 125x basically, and you can trade with as low as $3 also. So, and the best part of, or the beauty of futures trading is basically you can trade in both the directions. Now, in spot and futures trading, there are two different, there are some type of orders which you also have to understand. There are three types of orders. Two types of orders remain same in both spot and futures, which is limit and market order. Limit order is something which basically means that if you're predicting that the current price is basically going to go a little up or down, based on that you're trying to decide your own price, then you can put a limit order. If you think, if you do not know how to speculate, or you do not know how to analyze markets or do whatever, like you want to buy it at market orders, like at the current market price, you can place your market orders. These two orders work favorably well in both the spot and futures trading. All right. Coming to the futures trading, the only difference that is there between a spot and a futures trading is the trigger order. This type of order basically is like, only in futures and is not there in spot. So trigger order basically is something where you are predicting that the price is going to reach certain level, and then from there you want to place an order. So trigger order basically, for example, to explain it better, now currently price is at 3,211, right, for Ethereum. So when the price is going to basically move to say 3,100 or something, you are predicting that price is going to go till 3,100. So you'll put a trigger order saying that that 3,100 is what you put as trigger price, and then from there you decide that you either want to buy or you either want to sell, and then you basically decide like from when price reaches 3,100, you would like to buy at a market, sorry, not at a market, at a limit order, which is like buying it at 3,000, say, what price should I take? 3,070, for example. Okay, 3,100 is what you're expecting the trigger price to hit, and you want to basically buy it at 3,070. So you'll put a limit order there, 3,070, that you would like to buy. And then now, how does this trigger order get triggered? Is when the price reaches 3,500. That's exactly where that order will get activated. Till that time, that order is not even going to show up anywhere in the books. So you see on the order books this year, this order book that you see, the red and green order, like, the price, the size, amounts and everything. These are only for market and limit orders. So whenever market and limit orders are getting filled, it is going to be showing here. But when it comes to trigger order is only going to get reflected, or it's going to only reflect until unless the trigger price is not hitting, it is not going to reflect here. So you can decide to either buy or sell at a limit order, or you can either decide buy or sell at market order, but only when the market basically reaches that price, the trigger that you're trying to put. I hope this is clear. Then we'll come back to other things that we have to look into, and how we go about doing price action trading strategy. This is something that we were looking into, and I will continue with this topic. So guys, so far whatever we have discussed, anybody has any kind of questions, please ask me anything. Just a second. Is anyone having any question? Because I'm going to take a small 5-10 minutes break here, and then we'll continue talking about the price strategy, the price action trading strategy. Okay. Guys, don't feel free to ask me any questions. I'm taking a small 5 to 10 minutes of break. If you want me to handhold you, guide you from scratch till the end, till you start taking trades successfully, I can do it. And meanwhile, you have any questions, feel free to please shoot out in the comment section, and I will address to all your questions as and when we go about. All right. Guys, the system has logged out. Give me a second. If anybody is trying to send me any message on Zbit platform, then I'm not able to view it because my system is logged out. Give me a second and I will be logging into the platform once again. Hold on for a second. Yeah, so sorry. So as I was saying, as I was saying, there are two different types of trading that you guys can do. Spot futures we've looked into. In spot, sorry, in trading also there are different types of traders that you can become. Either you can become a hodler where you buy at a dip and wait for months together, like maybe 3 months, 6 months, 1 year down the line, and take your profits after whatever period of time that you've set for yourself. Second thing, you can either be a day trader or a swing trader, which means you can capture the bigger movements on bigger charts like 1 hour, 4 hours, and can trade like from like couple of hours to days together. That's the work of a day or a swing trader, which captures the bigger movements like on a bigger charts, like the trends, downtrends, uptrends, and things like that. And then they basically trade along that side. Or you can be somebody who will be basically picking up scalping positions, and scalping position like is not for everybody. It's not meant for everyone to do it. Scalping basically tries to capture like small little movements, maybe 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes on the charts, and we usually use very small time frames also for this. From 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes charts is what we use, and try to pick up some good movements and then try to take trades and close within next few minutes that we're planning to do. In this, the thing is, you cannot take scalping positions with very minimalistic capital, because minimalistic capital means you have to wait for a very long period of time, like at least for some time, to kind of take that kind of profit that you're looking for. With small moves and low profits, you're never ever going to make that great profit. So it's always better to avoid scalping positions when you have very minimalistic trade, like when you have very small capital to begin with. So to answer to a question, somebody in the stream just now a little while ago asked me this question. So I want to tell you guys that you cannot take a scalping position, at least like somebody asked me $3 is what they have. So can you take a trade with that? That is not going to be possible. Alfred, this is answer to your question. And it's going to take either ages, not ages, it's going to take some time for the trade to happen. So with $3, though you can take you can take a position, but you will not be able to take the trade within very short period of time. If your time horizon that you're keeping is like next 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, is not going to be possible, because you need a lot of big movement that you are looking for, and with that kind of capital and leverage that you're taking, it's going to be very difficult to achieve it in next 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, whatever you're talking about. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now you will size your positions correctly, guys. Daksh, $114 you said, which is good. $114 is good enough to take, like even if you're trying to take maybe a leverage position there, you're trying to 2x your leverage or 5x your leverage, depending on what you are trying to do, you can basically make some good profits. So yes, in like guys, if you want to capture small movements and want to make profits in lesser time, better to increase the capital and leverage. That is how you can trade. But while we think of profits, also remember that risk associated with it is also very high. So you have to be careful what works for you. Okay. Now, as I was telling you, there are different types of ways which people trade. So we all this while we've been looking into basically how to trade basis indicators. Okay, I told you very clearly we can use moving averages, we can use RSI, we can use MACD, we can use DMI. All these indicators can be used for trading. But some traders like to even trade basis, looking at the chart trends and everything. So how do you basically trade basis the price action? How the way price is showing on the charts is how you basically try to analyze and then trade according to it. So first and foremost step when you're trading basis the price action trading strategy is to identify the trend. Now identifying trend means even you either have to go on bigger time frames like 1 hour or 4 hours chart to understand how the overall trend is looking like. Now I'm on Ethereum 4 hours chart and you can clearly see if I try to enhance this a little bit, you can see we are clearly in a downtrend. Okay, we are clearly in this downtrend. Now, definitely, for example, if you are seeing that, like I'll draw a downtrend here. Let me draw this. Okay, this is the second time price has bounced back to this region. Okay, and now you can see there is it's still basically moving in the same direction. Now if I try to enhance this a bit more, like for example, now my trend we've identified, we know that it's a downtrend. Okay, on a 4 hour chart, we'll come back to 1 hour chart also, but let's see how the thing is showing on this chart. First you see the next lower low that it is supposed to make is if it comes and hit this point, basically that's when either it's going to bounce back and it's either going to start an uptrend. This is one probability of it which is going to happen, or the other thing which can happen is it can either go down and it can consolidate a little while and then it can start again moving in upward direction. This is another scenario that can happen. Or what can also happen is that it can either directly from this level itself can start bouncing up. All these are three possible probable cases. Yes or no? So the answer is yes. So when it's a downtrend, basically first we need to identify what kind of a trend are we into. We identified that the trend is basically a downtrend. So there are only three probable cases that we can expect. Price bouncing directly up, okay, directly in upward direction, or second is downward direction. Further, it will either it will continue its downtrend or it is going to change the direction altogether. These are two probable situations which everyone knows. Or the last or the possible probable cases is going to consolidate a little for a while and then basically it's going to again consolidate. When it consolidates, it usually means if there was downtrend, the uptrend will continue, and if there was uptrend, the downtrend will continue. Usually, after consolidation, it's going to be the opposite of it in most of the cases, majority of the cases, and there'll be, I don't know if there will be any kind of exceptional cases where the thing will continue becoming like the same trend will continue. That is, sometimes it may happen also, not necessary, but yes. But in most of the cases, when it consolidates, it kind of tries to accumulate orders in this particular zone, and then it starts forming a new trend altogether. Okay, now we got all these probable scenarios. Now let's see. Let me remove these drawings. We identified the trend. Wait, I want to delete this. I think it made a very big khichdi here. Okay, now very important thing. We took a trend line here. Okay, we put it here. All right. I removed that, guys. Okay. So it's making lower lows here. So when price came to this lower low, let's also see whether it tested the previous zones or not. So I put a horizontal line here. So you can see when it made this lower low, basically it tested this zone completely. So this whole zone got tested. Okay. Now, then the next lower low it made here. I'm going to draw another horizontal line. So when it made another horizontal line here, this is where it made the horizontal line. So this, there was a big like liquidity sweep that has happened. So this whole zone got tested. Now, which part of the zone got tested here? If you see on a bigger picture, this zone completely got tested. Okay. In the recent past, there was no other zone, but it was here. And this, what we are talking about is the zone in between the, like in the month of July to August, whatever the zones were, these zones are basically getting tested right now. Okay. Now, the next step is to see if now price is sitting at what 3226. What is the next probable lower low that it can make on the charts is, let's try to make it a little more small. I'm in this downtrend. So the next probable low that it is going to make and the next low that it can touch is this zone. Okay, so I'm going to draw my another horizontal line here. So the next probable zone that it is going to test is this zone. So whatever we are seeing, whatever we are trying to analyze is all predict, like, probabilities only. They're not something which is 100% accurate, or nobody knows in this world like what is even going to happen in next 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. I don't know if some big whale enters into the market. It can be a totally opposite thing also. But looking at this current scenario, because there is no proper positive catalyst out here at this present scenario, what we imagine is like maybe because there is nothing positive which can actually drive the prices are, the next probable scenario, the next possible down trend, or the next low that it might touch is this low. Because you see, price has been retesting all these zones. The first low it made, it tested all this zone till here. Like in the recent past, it tested this zone, and then the next low it made is this. It is testing this low. The reason I'm going into that far is because in the recent past there is no previous low that was there which it could have actually tested. So that's why I had to go like very far off to see. So it's almost testing this zone which is on a bigger picture. So now in the overall market structure, the external market structure, you can see that on a bigger time frame, this is one of the probable thing that is likely to happen. But it's not 100% sure also that this is what can happen. If at this current state buyers become strong, it might as well bounce back. Now, whenever there is a downtrend, guys, remember one thing, especially when the price makes a previous low. Okay, the previous low basically is the actual is the is actually, this is the support now. Okay, the previous low that it made is the support for the current price. Now, where the current price is, it is the support for it. Here, basically, now price, if basically buyers are going to be strong, this low which it created last time now is this resistance for this particular low. Now, price either has the option, like obviously if buyers become strong, it might as well reach the resistance level, bounce to this level, or it might as well touch this support and then further break down. So how you're going to trade in this particular scenario is, we are going to go back to 1 hour charts to see how it looks like on the 1 hour chart. Let's have a look at it. It looks like it is still in the downtrend. So this basically has become its new support here. Even on the 1 hour time frame, it's basically looking the same. The market structure overall, when we look at it, you can see step by step, you can see this zone got tested. Okay, now this zone, what we're trying to basically see, if you see on a very bigger picture, it's almost going back to months together back. So it's like something which is very unpredictable here, and looks like, because there is no either institutional interest developing here, there is no whale entries, there is nothing which is driving the prices up. The probable scenario only that makes here at this present scenario is it is going down only. So 1 hour, we know that here it is looking like it is going to go down only, the downtrend is going to continue. Now, what I normally do is, whenever I look at this kind of a structure, whenever I am basically analyzing it, I completely don't go about looking at the price action and then take my trade. Now, after seeing my 4 hours and 1 hour, what I usually do is I go to a 5 minutes or a 15 minutes chart. And then from here, I also look at the overall market from the smaller time frame perspective. Okay, different traders, guys, have different ways of trading. Like what works for you, what works for others, it totally depends. See, understanding the basic concepts and basic terminologies is very important, but when you're trading, when you're doing it practically, you can make your own setups, make your permutation combinations and things like that, and can trade what suits well for you and what works for you. So you see here, I'm on a 5 minutes time frame. From the bigger perspective, you saw that I made this a downtrend, and in the shorter time frame, wait, let me try to, I'm not able to pull more data. It's only able to give me this. So you see, even on shorter time frame, when I see it in this manner, kind of looks like it's in a downtrend only, but here it looks like it is in a consolidation phase. What I tend to do normally is I try to analyze, putting some indicators to here at this current scenario, because today when I'm actually looking at trading, if I'm trying to pick up some trade, so what I do is I put my moving average, both the moving averages, 250 here. So my both the moving averages are here. I can see, okay, I'm going to change the color here a bit because it's going to be a little confusing. So yes, so on my 5 minutes time frame, you can see here, I'll try to enhance this. On my 5 minutes also, basically it's in downtrend. My overall the bigger time frame is also showing me it is in downtrend. Like you can see on the 4 hours chart, I plotted this. This is in downtrend. On my 1 hour chart, when I plotted this, also it's in the downtrend only. Like yes, on on 1 hour chart, slightly price touched the 50 moving average, but still now it's further down only. So it's in downtrend. So basically, the next lower low that it is going to make, what we have analyzed, like on a bigger time frame, we saw. Hi, my dear 7012021. Welcome to the stream. So the next that we are aiming at is that we are aiming at. I told you what we are aiming at. The next low that it can create from this perspective is this uh, price that we're talking about, 2,907. Okay, so this is what we are aiming at. So that is what the current scenario looks like. Now, if in case you would like to basically trade, this is the price action. One thing is the moving averages are justifying to me that price is below moving average, which means it is in downtrend. But now, until when the downtrend is going to continue? Is it going to continue for a couple of more days, couple of more months, or is there a reversal that is likely to happen? Nobody knows about it until there is yes positive, something that is coming up. Nobody knows about it. So here, one very important thing is yes, it touched once, they touched twice, most likely on the third, like whenever the trend is continuing, whether it's downtrend or uptrend, it usually touches the trend line at least 3 times. Sometimes it can be 5 times also. So there's no hard and fast rule again. I don't know, you don't know, nobody knows in this world. Like if it touches this zone, is it going to still continue? Is it still going to continue the downtrend, or is it going to change its direction altogether? Nobody has that answer. Only until some positive thing comes up, and then we basically decide, like the price decides to start moving up, buyers become more stronger and all of that. Yes, the market might start taking a different direction altogether. So how you should trade? Do you really want to be worried for next few days? How, like, should I go for a very long position, like looking at this, imagining that the price is going to reach this next support level, which is 2909, or should I trade basis, current scenario? If you ask me personally, because I'm a trader myself, I believe in today's world. I don't believe in something what could be going in next few days or like months or something like that, because nobody knows. It is such an unpredictable thing. Trust me, guys. Like the decision makers, the market movers, like the big uh, whales, the big influencers of the market, like say Donald Trump, who is who has such a major influence on the crypto market, or major catalysts like the economic data that we're talking about, or if you're talking about any other data relation to interest rates, or we talk about inflation data, the CPI data, the PPI data, the what else I think interest rates I've told you already. All these things. And because we also know that on an ongoing basis, Federal Reserve does come up with some new policies, new decisions altogether. Are you actually going basis that, or are you just looking for something which is for today? The answer is totally dependent on you. While some of you basically like trading in that way, where you want to hold it for bigger time perspective, things like that, that's totally up to you. All I'm trying to say is there are both the ways to trade. There is nothing wrong in going in this way also, or there is nothing wrong in picking up what is right in front of you. So this, whatever scenario we are trying to predict, is also based on probabilities. This is not certain. This is not 100% accurate. Yes, it is going to like touch this zone. But do you want to take a trade in this direction where basically you are going to short sell here, imagining or assuming that the price is going to reach this next support level, keeping your target something like this and trade, or are you going to go with current market scenario? So in current market scenarios, as I told you, um, especially when it comes to futures trading, you cannot leverage up to this level. So what I'm trying to show you is this is on a 1 hour chart, and if you're trying to trade on this and assuming that this is where the market is going to go down, okay, you're never ever going to get onto that level, because your margin should be able to support till that level. Can you actually take a trade basis this, the price action strategy at least? I don't think the answer is going to be accurate for this. You see, what we're trying to aim here is 1 is to 1.83, but that's on a 1 hour chart. Now, how much time is this going to take for it to come till this level? Nobody has an answer. Nobody has an answer for this. Even for that matter, Donald Trump doesn't have that answer, because if he's going to sit and just influence the market, I don't know whether if it goes negative or positive, nobody knows about it. So can you risk it out this much? Like we are on 1 hour chart. If I position the same thing on a smaller time frame, let's see. Let me just change this to say 5 minutes chart and see what are we trying to achieve here. This is where we are taking our entry. We are trying to short it. Okay. How much of a movement am I talking about? I will show you on the smaller time frame. Bigger time frame पे तो 1 is to 1 we are seeing. So 3232. Okay, 3232 is going to be 2905. So how much of a move are we talking about? 3234 minus 2905. Like $329 move that we are looking at. And if I measure this on a scale, on 5 minutes time frame, it's a 10.08% market. So if you're trying to scalp a position, I don't think this is basically possible. At least in next couple of hours, it's not going to be possible. This definitely is going to take some time for it to achieve. Let's assume hypothetically, let's go on to a 4 hours chart where we were looking at the previous low, right? We were seeing that. Let me just pull this. This is again a probable scenario that I'm talking about, okay? So let's see, let's imagine from this level to this level. So let me remove this for a little while, guys, okay? So that gives us clarity. So my price is currently here, okay? I'll draw a line here. It's just to see how much time are we expecting on this, like, okay? Don't take me in wrong sense, okay? What I'm trying to plot for you guys is I'm trying to, based on like we are trying to analyze price action. So we are just calculating probabilities of it. So see, this is where the current price is. For the previous price from this level to this level, how much time has it taken for it to come from this level to this level? I know it is from down to up it has come, but will it, if we just put it like in a probability, if it is going to assume like it's going to take the same amount of time. So let's see, this was 16th July 8 p.m. and this is where we are aiming, right? 11th July 12 o'clock. So what we're trying to assume here is it's going to take 6 days at least, because from between this move to this move, okay, between this move to this move that we're talking about, okay, it took at least 6 days here, 6 days. So can you take a position which can hold for 6 days? Answer is no. At least in futures trading, no. Because your leverage, your margin, what you have, whatever amount you're putting in, whatever leverage you're trying to put there, can hold up to certain level. And how does it hold up to certain level? Imagine you have $100. Okay, you have taken, no, I'll take $100. You have taken 2x leverage. Now your position is for $200. Okay, $200 is what you bought it at. 3234 3235 currently you bought it. And you're planning to hold it 2911. Well, this is looking very nice, lucrative. $20. But is it an achievable thing or not? That is the question. What if market doesn't move in your direction? If it reaches till this level, yes, your profit is inevitable. But what if the opposite of it happens? Because it's unpredictable. Suddenly, market might start moving in upward direction because a whale entered into the market. That is one probable case. Second thing, it could also be like, but because Donald Trump came up and like announced something suddenly, like some positive thing, market starts moving up. Now you're buying it at 3235. Okay. So what was the amount that you were investing? You were investing. What did I take it? $100 was your amount, right? $100. So your amount is $100, which is your margin. So taken a $200 position. So which means 50% is what it can support. So at 3235, if the price is going to basically move in the opposite direction, then there is no, if it is moving in our direction, no issues. Which means at whatever, we are trying to keep 1:2, 1:1, 1:1.1, 1.5, we will, take out profits basis what we are trying to keep the target. But what if opposite of it happens? So 0.5% is what you have the leverage margin. So plus 1 is what you do up to 1.5. So your leverage will be maintained till your entry point was 3235 up to 4,852.5. Okay. Just a sec. So do you basis this? Do you want to take a trade for next few days? Like for the next couple of days, like imagining these are all probabilities. There is nothing evident. There is no full proof for it. There is no guarantee on this. These are just some calculations which are trying to fit in, picking up some probabilities from here and there, seeing how the price action has been performing and keeping all the historical performance in our present scenario, because there is a saying or there is a belief that history repeats for itself, or whatever price has been performing in the previous past, or how the price action has been, it has a tendency to perform in the future also in similar fashion. So imagining that whatever the conditions were in the previous past, keeping all those conditions, do you think you can hold your trade for 6 days? Because you have the capacity to hold your trade till 4852. Okay, till price reaches 4852. So what we're trying to do here is 4852 means we took a position in 3235, right? What was it? 3235 only. Yeah, 3235. So we are talking about almost talking about $1,617 move that we're talking about. Just a second, guys. Hold on for a second. Give me 2 seconds. Uh, uh, 14179. For my dear, what is it? Please tell me. You said help me. I want to help you. Yes, tell me. Tell me what is it? So, are you able to understand, guys? This is just purely basis how what we're trying to do here is based on probability and based on price action is what we're trying to analyze the markets and trade in the direction. So present scenario, we are short selling at 3235 with $100 position. Okay, $100 position in next 6 days. Can you hold it or not? So what you're risking is $100. What you're risking is $100. What you're leveraging is 2x of it. With $200, you're buying at, not buying, you're selling at 3235. You're waiting for next 6 days because you're taking 2x leverage, right? So your position will stay till 4852 if it goes in the opposite direction, which means because you are selling now, if you have to make profit, you basically want the markets to move further down, down, down. If you're if you're selling at 3235, you want the market to either come 3,100, 3,000, 3,000 or 3,000 less like that, it should go in descending order when you're basically short selling. What if the opposite of it happens? Okay, what if the opposite of it happens? And it is very much possible. Suddenly, some news comes up like in coming few days, the market starts moving up suddenly. You took a short position. The next 6 days, in this present scenario, you assume that with all the probabilities that we did, assuming that the next support level that it is going to create it is at 2,907. If that is where it is going to hold the position, so the profit that we are expecting, look at the profit, 200 divided by 3235. So this is the number of contracts you're buying and we're selling it at 2907. So it's like 179. Let me copy this. We invested 200 and we made 179. And let's just imagine there is at least like maybe $5 of $5 of let's say $4 of fees. So you're left out with $16. $16 is basically your 428894. Hi, my dear. Hi, welcome. So $16 is what your profit is after your fees. So can you, now the question here is, can you wait for 6 days, which we kept it as a probability, okay, to get this $16 profit, and after the expenses like the trading fees and all of that, you're left out with this kind of a profit. So is it worth staying in this position and staying for say 5-6 days that we're trying to aim for, or do we trade basis the current scenario that we are into? Because in the current scenario we can use indicators, we can use moving averages, we can see basis what the current scenario is looking like, and we can trade in that manner also. There is nothing wrong in that way also, because different people have different ways of trading. Some do this, some do that. So what do you wish to do in this scenario? One very important thing is, yes, your margin might be able to support this particular move. Okay, the margin might be able to support your move. Your other than that, whatever probabilities we have calculated might also be achievable. But one very one and only thing which can actually be risky, or which can basically completely wash off your trade is, definitely in next few days nobody knows what is going to happen. What if something positive happens? Market starts moving up. You took a short position here, but what if market starts moving up suddenly? A small pullback happens in the upward direction, in uptrend or up direction. I don't know what's wrong with me actually. I'm having this irritating those guys. I don't know. So, can you still hold the trade? Or now, the next thing which I will show you, if you don't like to go for this price action trading strategies, because there is nothing 100% accurate in this, in other way of trading, which is based on indicators that we do. We in this we basically don't go by just price action. Here we also look into certain indicators, because indicators do give us some kind of information which can be useful for us. So we can trade basis this also. Now, how do you do that? Do you want to go with price action? You can very well go for it. Or you want to go for this? Now, the first step, what you will do in this kind of trading when you use indicators is, first and foremost, very important indicator, which all of us has to use or is very useful, is your moving averages. Now, I put a 50 days or 50 candle moving average here, and then I use my 200 moving average. All right. And then let me change the color, not color, sorry. I'll make it a little thicker. So I have a blue line, I have a yellow line. Okay. Now, this is different way. This is a different setup. Now, this basically looks into a lot of different things. There, what we did here, we just looked at the charts. We looked at support resistance levels. We identified the structure. We identified the trend. We identified price action strategy, like where next probable case can be. I gave you the trading strategy for the short trade, but there is also a probable case of a price moving in upward direction also, right? There is another probable case of it, which is like obviously price moving up. So the next movement is obviously nothing but, because we are at this support level, so we will be aiming for our resistance here. So it was sitting, right? So this will be our aim. So if you're planning to buy, you buy and you wait for the price to bounce back to the previous resistance it has created. That's another probable scenario. Now you got a strategy for buy, you got a strategy for sell also. Now let's have a look at, I will try to analyze this here. See, for the price to come from there to this level, how much time has it taken? So this was my candle on 4th November at 4 o'clock. And for the resistance, it took around 2 days. It took 2 days for the price to reach here, because it's like on the 5th of November, not 2 days, 5, it is next day only. Or let's say this was my resistance, but even here, like for example, let's see this one, which is 5th November, 8 o'clock. And this is where it went, right? It created a high here. So this is 5th November, 8 o'clock. And this is November, 12 o'clock. This candle is 4th November, 4 o'clock. So between 4th of November, 4 o'clock to this level, which is basically, how much time is it? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Exactly 24 hours. Okay. So now, because price has to retest this zone, the probability of it reaching to that level is again from this level is next 24 hours. So currently this candle which you see basically 7th of November at 12 o'clock, which is as per this time, it is as per UTC, not as per Gulf Standard Time. So if this is at this level at 12 o'clock, from here exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles you imagine. So next probability could be, so this is your 12th candle. We are in 7th of November. So next 6 candles will draw here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is your 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 o'clock candle. 8, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24. This is 7th of November afternoon. So this is 12. Four, 14, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 4 o'clock, 17, 18, 19, 20, 8 o'clock, 24, 19, 11, 12, which is midnight, 8, 4, 8, 12. So exactly tomorrow at around 12 o'clock UTC, we are calculating basis UTC, we are not calculating basis my local time or anything. I'm on the UTC chart. Now you guys, you can do it as per your timing, whatever you guys are looking at. And again, this is a probable scenario, guys. This is not something which basically has any logic behind or any evidence behind to support or to say, yes, this is 100% going to happen. This is just a probability that we're trying to assume that if in case in this present scenario where we are taking this short, buy position here, imagining that price will retest this zone, because one probable case is that it is going to make a new low, which is going to touch this support zone and going to test the previous zone, which it was able to achieve in the month of August. Or the next probable scenario is also that what if it touches the resistance zone which it has created, and that resistance zone which last time it created took around 12 hours for it to reach this. So from this current scenario, what if exactly the same scenario repeats here and it retests this zone? So if even if we are trying to keep our targets here, let's say how much of a target am I keeping? Let me just put a long position and see what is my risk to reward here. Imagining I'm buying here, I don't want to keep that big target, only till this swing high. So my risk to reward is around 0.72 only. And how much of a point movement am I talking about? 3236 and 3482. 3482 and 3236. So 3236 minus 3482. So we are expecting a $246 or 246 point move that we're talking about. So achievable or not achievable, that's something we need to basically see if that is how it is going to if it is going to be possible or not possible. This can be in the buy direction. Both the things what we're trying to analyze is basis. There is no evidence to support this, but yes, these are both probable cases, looking at the overall market structure, identifying the trend and what could be the probable next move. Basis that we are trying to put this or structure our trade in that direction. That is how what we are trying to do. But is there an evidence to support your buy position or to support your sell position? The answer is no. Now comes the next factor, which is very important, which is looking at the indicators and trading in the direction of indicators. Because indicators just doesn't give you price action, they give you the information about whether buying is becoming strong, sellers are strong. The indicator also does give you information about overall trend, is it strong or not. And then it does talk about whether price currently is in oversold conditions or overbought conditions. I'll come to that and I'll explain you what oversold or overbought conditions are. And then also we kind of get to know based on volume also how the price in current scenario is behaving. So what we might have done is, like, based on price action, we're trying to fit in a big swing position that we're trying to capture here, which may or may not be successful, which may or may not be successful trade, because it's all based on probabilities that we're doing. One of it is definitely going to be true. Other scenario is definitely going to be something which we will have to just a second, sorry guys. One of them is definitely going to be is going to happen, but other scenario is like it might not be true too. So taking a trade in that direction, like when you're trying to capture a bigger movement, is possible. Now, as I told you that in spot trading, because you do not take leverage, so when we are trying to pick up a swing position here, we are trying to take this price action strategy where we are trying to pick up a swing position based on probabilities. Long buy position is possible, and as well as it is still it can still be safer, because until unless you decide to sell it, nobody is ever going to take it away. Yes, the chances of money getting trapped is definitely there if you don't put a stop loss. But whether the position will liquidate or not, that is something which you can be safeguarded from that point of view. So uh, while you can take in current scenario short position as well and then trade in the opposite direction too, but because there is leverage associated and you don't want to risk that kind of money or lose out on a lot of money or something like that, these are all probable things, and what are the possibilities in which you can trade in whichever direction you think is possible. Guys, I'm giving you all the possible ways where you can do trading, which is like either you can pick up spot, either you can pick up futures, either you can pick up long or you can pick up short. All these are possible, but they are all based on the probabilities. Now, when we are trying to talk about the indicators way of trading, so then we have to look into different things, and we are trying to capture some we're trying to capture some scalping positions here. Now, scalping positions, actually, here, uh, the swing position that I told you, because you don't have to use leverage, and you can also, pick up a very big swing, something like that, and you are able to trade. So, in that scenario, not much risk is associated. Although, yes, as I told you, money can get trapped if the, thing is not going in your direction. But still, money is recoverable. In this, what we're doing, money is not recoverable at all. So, now, here, the best way to trade is basically when you're trying to capture small movements while the risk associated with it is very big. Uh, the only best way is to right size your position according to the day's requirement, which means that today, if the market is moving at 2%, your positions should basis be the uh, how it is going on. Like, for example, I'll show you. Let's say, let's pick up the data from, this is your 7th of October, right? Let's put planner. Let's put a horizontal lines and try to put a support and resistance. So this is my support right now because this is where the price has reached. Now comes another horizontal line. This is where my resistance is. So between this swing high and swing low, so the support is standing at 3205. Okay, 3205. The resistance sitting at 3365. How much of a point move are we seeing? 3365 minus 320. It's almost $160 move. And if we calculate that in percentage wise, let me see. Three three six five and 3200. 3365 3200. Let's see this. It's like almost 5%. Okay, so this is a 5% move that we're talking about. And what is that we're trying to talk about? This is between like 7th November. It's like from 9 o'clock, from almost not 9 o'clock, I would say, like it was here also, right? It tested here. So from 7 o'clock until this zone, which is like 1640. If I take this as 30 minutes, So between this time until this 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, no, 17, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours almost. 10 hours almost. So 10 hours is what we are trying to 10 hours is what it took for the price to reach like if we sit at resistance. So assuming that the same probability continues where price basically bounces back to its resistance in the next coming 10 hours or maybe lesser than that, we are going to take a trade basis that. Now, again, in this, there are two probable cases. One, price going up and moving in the direction of what we are planning to take a trade in. And the other side of the story, the other trade is basically going to be the opposite of it. Now, let's come back and see which trade is very much possible and which trade is going to be, you know, going to be in our favor. Okay, that is something we will do, not now. As of now, I will take a small 5 to 10 minutes break, then we will discuss both the probable cases, both buy and sell position, which position is looking more probable and is more achievable. Based on that, we will decide how we are going to plan our position. Okay, so stay tuned. I will be joining in next 5 to 10 minutes and we'll discuss what is practically possible and how we can trade in the right direction. Okay. So guys, before going for the break, I told you guys very clearly, I'll come back and we'll discuss on two probable cases, which is like whether we should buy in today's present scenario or should we sell. Okay. If I purely go by moving averages, let me have a look at it. What it looks like for moving averages. If I purely go by moving averages, the answer is basically no, we shouldn't be buying in this current scenario because from all the moving averages perspective, on all bigger time frames, shorter time frames, price is below moving average, which means price is going to go down. So buying at this position is not at all a suitable scenario. But because there is always a probability of it, because it's always a 50-50 thing, we can, plan out a buy entry only when price is moving above the short moving average, which is the 50 moving average. If it surpasses that and there is a small pullback that is coming in, then that is when we can actually take a buy position too. In this present scenario, assuming that yes, price is going to go further down, let's just take the data only from 7th of November here. Okay, this is where my day is beginning. Okay, this is where it is starting. So you can see my 200 moving average is also above price. My 50 moving average is also above price. But because on the charts, you can see there is a double bottom that has been created. Okay, that basically kind of has taken the price slightly little up. Okay, but does that mean price is trying to now move up? The answer is still no. On RSI, price is almost near the neutral zone. So this, what you see currently in this scenario is nothing but it's basically some consolidation that is happening over there. Do we trade in this direction? No. The answer is no. You have to wait for a proper breakout. You can see even on the shorter time frame, there was a downtrend that was going on. Let me just pull out a trend line here. If I just plot this here, price definitely has broken the trend line. You can see the downtrend that we had here. Now, the question here is this small minor pullback that is happening here, is this just price trying to consolidate in this zone and continue with the trend in the going forward direction, or is there an uptrend that is coming? So whenever after a small, like whenever the price basically, like you can see, it did touch the support and resistance levels here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 times it has touched, and then it has broken past this. In most of the scenarios, when this kind of a scenario happens, the price is most likely to now move in upward direction. So should we plan an entry? Yes, for shorter term, you can plan a long entry, but for bigger time frame, because it still does show it is in downtrend, buying like selling at, sorry, selling at the current position can be fruitful. Coming to shorter time frames, yes, shorter time frames, because the short pullback is coming. So buying at this current scenario can still be a good decision. But do we directly looking at the breakout decide on to buying, or should we wait for something else also? That is the next question. So the next question here is definitely looking at whether the buying pressure is building up or not, or if the sellers are in control. And how do you determine that? You use DMI indicator to see if the DI plus and DI minus is in which one is in control. If you want to see if the buyers are in control, you will look at DI plus, which is the blue line on the DMI indicator, which clearly states that sellers are in control right now, not the buyers. So that, like, flushes out our one possibility. Second thing, because price is almost nearing the neutral zone, so until unless there is a proper breakout that is coming, we do not have any kind of buy sell entries here. So you can see here in this current scenario, it's kind of trying to consolidate. It's not very evident that there is a breakout that has happened here. The breakout will only happen if price basically either continues to the continues a downtrend, or if it is going to go up. So the breakout is only when the buyers are becoming strong and it moves past this moving average, and in on RSI also it reaches the 50 neutral zone, and on my DMI it should show me that the buyers are in control. And when the trend is basically trying to change, it should also reflect that the trend is becoming strong and strong, which means it should be above 25 to be able to give me a proper confirmation. That's when we enter into a long buy position. Otherwise, if at this current scenario sellers are still taking over, then we do not enter into a buy trade. Instead, we enter into a short trade only. Let's wait for a proper confirmation. As in, let's see if the buyers or sellers, whoever is becoming strong. Based on that, we will plan our entry. Yes, definitely is not a falling wedge. Definitely, there is no clear-cut clarity as of now. Sellers are still in control, guys. So, you know, taking a buy position in this current scenario can still be a riskier thing. I don't recommend or suggest any sell positions buy positions currently. We're not taking any buy entry still, okay? Let's just wait. Guys, on bigger time frames too, the price is basically not moving in uptrend. So when it's an uptrend, it's better to buy at that point in time. But currently, it's still in downtrend. I would not recommend any kind of buy position still. The short term pullback, uh, only if you size yourself properly and decide your move in advance, only then it is possible for you to achieve it. Otherwise, buying positions in this current scenarios is still very risky thing. We'll wait for the price to reverse, or because price has already reached 60 on RSI. A lot of traders take their profits from this region, so short entry can be planned from this particular zone before price again retraces back in the upward direction. Guys, this long while we are not capturing it, okay? We capture the short position from here. So on the RSI, when we see Guys, shorting from this position is okay, but price is above moving averages. We'll have to be a little careful. Thirty minutes, 60 minutes. 30 minutes, it's still down. 60 minutes is also still down. 4 hours is also still down. So that's the reason I'm not encouraging any buy position. Although on the shorter time frame, it does look like it is basically moving in up direction, like it's moving in uptrend. But yes, Guys, we're not capturing this long trade because overall trend looks negative. We're not capturing the long trade here. We'll aim for guys, anybody who has any questions, please feel free to ask. Let's not go by the short-term pullbacks because the overall trend still looks in downtrend. Guys, join the session to be able to get useful tips, tricks, everything that you're looking for. So Yeah, this looks like an inducement or it looks like a market trap. Anybody has any questions? Can ask any questions. I had a request, somebody asking me to look into 5 minutes short. I'm waiting for the price to reverse from this direction, then I'll be taking a short trade here. This is below different from the numbers. So see, price is trying to consolidate a lot, like these sideways um, candles that are getting created is a clear indication. Now price is trying to take a momentum here. Guys, last 10 to 15 minutes of the session. Anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask. Guys, anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask. In the starting of the session, a lot of you asked me some very good questions. Really appreciate. Last 10 minutes of the session, guys. Anybody has got any questions, please feel free to ask. uh, Only invest that much which you think you can afford to lose, guys. Like, markets are very, very volatile, very, very crazy. If you're keeping too unrealistic targets or you're trying to keep too big targets, that's going to impact a lot. So be careful while you trade. Try taking the trade within the same day itself or within a couple of minutes, especially when you're leveraging. Yes, I don't say that when you're buying it at your own in spot trading, the risk is much lower, but in futures it is very, very risky. So you have to position yourself very quickly and very perfectly. So with that, I'm going to end this session, guys. Let's basically continue uh, tomorrow between 4 to 8 p.m. Dubai time. And this is Nilakeen signing off from ZBit. I will see you guys tomorrow.